1. Introduction. My name is Carla. I am 26 years old. I work as a maid. I work in a very big house for a rich man named James. His house is called a mansion. It is large, cold, and always too quiet. I clean the floors and wash the dishes. I organize the many rooms from early morning until late at night. James is a cold man. He does not speak much to me. I work 2 jobs because I have a big dream. I want to start my own candle business. I want to be the boss of my own company. Every night, I go to my small room in the city. I sit and make handmade candles until my hands hurt. I use soft colors and sweet smells. I sell my candles online on the internet. It is hard work. I am tired every day. I feel tired when I wake up, and I feel tired when I go to sleep. But I must save all my money. Working for James pays well, but I need more money quickly to start my business properly. I tell myself that one day I will be free from cleaning. I think about my candles when I clean James's large rooms. I think about the warm light they make. This thought keeps me strong. I know my candle business will grow. I need to be patient and keep working harder than anyone else. I use special wax and nice-smelling oils for my products. I want my candles to be the best quality. I pack the candles carefully in small boxes after they cool. Then I mail them to the people who buy them online. This part of the day is my favorite. I enjoy it much more than cleaning floors. I watch the clock while I work for James. I wait for the time I can go home and make my dreams real. I have worked here for almost 1 year now. I need more money before I can quit this job. I hope that my online sales will get bigger soon. I work 7 days a week. I do not have time for friends or fun. My life is only work, cleaning, and making candles. But I believe in my future. I believe in Carla. I believe in my dream to be the boss. 2. A big, cold house. James is the owner of the big house. He is a very rich man. Carla works for him every day. But James is also a cold man. He never looks at Carla. He walks past her quickly. He acts like she is not there. He treats Carla like she is invisible. This makes Carla feel very small in the large mansion. The house is beautiful, but it is also very cold inside. There are many expensive things, like big paintings and marble floors, but there is no warmth. Carla cleans the long halls and the many empty rooms. She works hard from morning until night. James does not notice her effort. He only speaks when he needs something. His voice is always low and distant. Sometimes James has visitors. His friends are rich too. They come to the mansion for parties or meetings. They look at Carla, but they only see a maid. They do not see a person. They do not say thank you. They are just like James. Carla keeps working silently. She needs this job. She needs the money to save for her future business. James seems stressed sometimes. Carla hears him talking loudly on the phone. He is often angry during these calls. He talks about his company. He talks about business problems and difficult deals. Carla knows he is worried about money, even though he has so much. He never tells Carla about his worries. He does not think she cares. James thinks Carla has no life outside of cleaning. He thinks Carla is just a maid, nothing more. But Carla has big dreams. She has a secret life. She has a plan to change her future completely. Carla thinks about her handmade candles while she cleans. She cleans the big, cold house for 8 hours every day. She knows that soon she will go home. Soon she will work on her own dream. James has his business problems, but Carla has her dreams. He does not know Carla has her own story. He does not know that one day she will be the boss of her own life. This thought keeps her strong in the big, cold house. 3. My work at night. After I finished cleaning the big house, I walked to my small room. It was late and I was very tired. My body hurt from working all day, but I had to work again. This was my second job. I sat down at my small table. This was where I made my candles. I worked hard on my business every night. I mixed the hot wax slowly. I put sweet smells into the wax. I chose soft colors like blue and pink. My hands often hurt, but I did not stop. This work was different from cleaning. This work was mine. I felt happy when I made something beautiful. I always took pictures and videos of the process. I posted them on the internet. People could watch me pour the melted wax into the jars. I hoped people would see my work and buy a candle. I usually worked until after midnight. Then I slept for only a few hours. When the morning came, I was tired again. But I thought about my dream. I wanted to be free from James and his cold house. I needed money to make my small business big. I needed one big chance. One night, I posted a short video. It showed the soft light of a finished candle. I went to sleep quickly. The next morning, I woke up to a loud noise. It was my phone. My phone was full of new messages. I looked at the screen. A famous girl who had many followers shared my video. She wrote that my candles were the best. Suddenly, many people saw my work. People I did not know wanted to buy my candles. Orders came in very fast. I had never seen so many orders before. I quickly sold every candle I had. I was so happy I almost cried. This was the big chance I needed, but I was also afraid. I did not want to trust this good luck too quickly. I needed to be safe. So I decided to keep my job at the mansion. I would work 2 jobs for a little longer. I wanted to be sure my business was strong before I left James's house forever. 4. A big change. 1 week after the first shared video, my life completely changed. The news about my candles went everywhere online. My videos became very popular. They went viral. This meant millions of people were seeing my small candle business. I could not believe how fast it happened. People loved the colors and the sweet smells of the candles. They wrote hundreds of nice comments every hour. They called my products soft dreams that helped them sleep well. Many people wrote that the candles gave them calm nights after a busy day. Others said they felt warm hearts when they lit the candles. Reading these kind words made my heart feel light and full of joy. The orders started coming in a very big flood. I sold everything I had made. I sold the candles I had planned to sell next month. I sold every candle in my small apartment. I had to work very hard to make new stock, but I did not feel tired in the same way. This work was for my future. My small room became full of supplies. I bought big blocks of wax and hundreds of jars. I bought new colors and new smells. The money I was making was shocking. Before, I needed 2 jobs to save a small amount. Now, I was earning more money in one day than I used to earn in 1 week at the mansion. The feeling of stress left my body. For years, I worried about money every single day. Now, the worry was gone. I looked at the list of orders one night. It was a very long list. I counted the money I had saved. It was enough. It was more than enough. My dream was not just a dream anymore. It was real. I sat on the floor of my room and started to cry. These were not tears of pain or tiredness. They were tears of pure happiness. I realized that I could finally stop cleaning James's big, cold house. I could stop being the invisible maid. I could be my own boss. I could manage my own time. I could tell people what to do instead of waiting for James to tell me what to clean. This huge change happened in less than 7 days. I thought about the future. I would open a real shop. I would hire people to help me make the candles. I looked at my hands, which were always tired from cleaning floors and making beds. Now, they would only make beautiful things. The next day, I knew what I had to do. I would go to the mansion one last time. I would thank the job for helping me save money, but I would leave it behind. I was Carla, the maid who became the boss. My new life started tomorrow. 5, I leave my job. The next morning came. I felt very awake. I did not feel tired, even though I worked all night making candles. I knew this day was important. I went to the mansion one last time. I walked into the big house. It was quiet, as always. I found James in the kitchen. He was reading a newspaper and drinking coffee. I stood straight and took a deep breath. "Mr. James," I said. My voice was strong. He looked up slowly. He looked annoyed that I spoke to him. "Yes, Carla," he asked. "I am leaving my job," I told him. "Today is my last day." James put the newspaper down. He looked very surprised. His face showed confusion. He did not often look confused. He only looked cold or busy. "Leaving? Why are you leaving?" he asked me. He sounded surprised by my decision. "Did something happen? Is there a problem with your pay?" I shook my head. No, sir. Everything is fine, I said. I am leaving because I have my own business now. He frowned a little. Your own business? What do you mean? He asked. He did not know about my second job. He did not know about the late nights. He did not know about the candles. He never noticed me. I decided to tell him the truth. I had nothing to hide anymore. I make and sell candles, I explained simply. My business is doing very well. I have many orders. I do not need to clean the mansion anymore. For the very first time since I started working there, James looked at me. He did not look at the maid cleaning the floor. He looked at Carla. His eyes moved over my face. He studied my clothes. He looked at my hands, the hands that made the candles, not just the hands that cleaned his dishes. He looked surprised and maybe a little shocked. He looked like he was seeing me for the first time. I had been invisible for many months. Now I was finally visible. He did not speak for a long moment. The silence in the kitchen felt heavy. I waited for him to say something cold, but he just looked at me. I did not wait for his answer. I did not need his permission to leave. I had my own power now. I gave him a small, happy smile. It was a true smile, full of freedom. I turned around and walked away from the kitchen. I walked out of the big, cold house. I walked quickly down the long path. I did not look back at the mansion. I did not look back at James. I felt lighter than air. I was finally free to be the boss of my own life. This was the end of my old job and the start of my big future. 6. He sees me now. Carla felt free after she left the mansion, but the freedom did not last long. James started trying to contact her. First, he sent many messages to her old work phone. Then, he found her personal number. He called her many times. He even sent emails. James did this every day for 1 week. Carla ignored all the calls and messages. She was very busy. Her candle business was growing fast. She had many orders to fill. She did not have time for the man who treated her like air. She focused only on her work and her dreams. One sunny afternoon, James came to her small shop. Carla was very surprised. The shop was on a busy street. It smelled like honey and vanilla. Carla was talking to a customer when James walked in. He wore a suit, but he looked nervous. He stood near the door for a minute. The customer left. James walked slowly to the counter. He looked around the shop at the colorful candles. He looked at Carla. His eyes were not cold anymore. They were soft and interested. Carla, he said. He used her name. It sounded strange to hear him say it. He had never used her name before. "Hello, James," Carla replied. Her voice was steady. She did not smile. He said, "I want to talk. I wanted to talk since you left." Carla put down the cloth she was holding. She thought about the past months. She remembered cleaning his house for hours. She remembered being tired every day. She remembered how he walked past her without seeing her face. She was invisible then. She asked him, "Why now?" James looked down at his shoes. "I made a mistake. I was busy with my life. I did not see what was around me." Carla shook her head slowly. "You saw me every day, James. You saw me sweeping the floors. You saw me washing your dishes. You saw the maid, but you did not see the person." He looked up quickly. "I see you now. I see your success. I see your strength." "Yes," Carla agreed. "You see the successful boss, not the tired maid. That is the difference." Carla felt strong. She did not need his attention now. She needed it when she was struggling, but he was silent then. His sudden interest felt fake. It was only because she became famous. She looked him straight in the eye. "James, I do not trust this change. You only noticed me after I did not need you anymore." He tried to speak again, maybe to apologize, but Carla stopped him. "No," she told him firmly. "The answer is no. You saw nothing when I needed someone to see me." Carla turned back to her work, arranging the new candles on a shelf. James stood there for a moment longer. Then he turned and left the shop quietly. Carla felt a great weight lift. She knew she made the right choice. 7. People start to talk. News stories about me started very fast. They were everywhere online and in newspapers. People called me the maid who became the boss. This name was famous. My candle business grew even more successful. I sold many, many candles every day. Customers waited in long lines to buy my products. They loved the soft colors and sweet smells. I felt strong and happy because of my hard work. At the same time, James had bad news. His big company started to have large problems. He tried hard to fix everything. He worked many hours, but the public knew about his business issues. People started to whisper about James and his company failures. Soon, people started to talk about James and me together. They said many things that were not true. Some people said James was very jealous of my success. They thought he was angry because I was now doing better than him. Other people said James wanted me back in his life. They thought he was trying to win me back now that I was famous. The man who ignored me for years now watched me all the time. He did not call or send messages anymore, but he was always near. I saw him at business events. I saw him in small coffee shops near my new shop. He stood far away. He just looked at me. I think he was waiting for a chance to speak. The talking grew louder and louder. It became a big scandal in the business world. People thought James and I had a secret history. They thought we had a secret love story when I worked for him as a maid. But this was not true. We only had silence between us before. We only had the silence of him treating me like air. Now, James was full of regret. I could see the sadness in his eyes when he watched me from the distance. He regretted the time he lost. He regretted that he treated me like I was invisible, but I focused on my shop. I focused on my customers who loved my candles. I was too busy to think about his feelings. My life was new and bright. The news stories kept coming out every day. I was the big, good story. James was the small, bad story. I learned that success makes you visible to everyone. Now everyone saw me. Even James saw me clearly. But I knew it was too late for him to change the past. I was the boss now. 8. I am the boss. James waited for Carla near her candle shop. The day was ending and the air was cool. He stood there for a long time. He looked worried and sad. This was the last time he would try to speak with her. Carla finally came out of her shop. She looked strong and busy, ready for the next day of work. James walked quickly to meet her. He said her name, Carla. He looked down for a moment. He spoke softly. He told her, "I know I was wrong before. I did not see you when you worked for me." He tried to smile, but it did not reach his eyes. He looked like he felt deep regret. He asked her for a chance to start over. "Can we try again?" he asked. "I mean, start again as two people, not as the maid and the boss, but as equals." He said they could forget the past. He wanted a new story with her now that she was successful. Carla listened to his words. She looked at him, but she remembered the big, cold mansion. She remembered the long, silent hours of cleaning. She remembered feeling like she was air, like she was invisible to everyone there. That memory brought a sharp pain to her heart. She felt sadness for the young woman who worked so hard and felt so small. But then she felt the strength of the woman standing here today. She had her own famous shop. She had many customers who loved her candles. She had money and success. She was powerful now. She had built this new life with her own 2 hands and many nights of hard work. She thought about her future. A future where she made all the rules. A future where she chose her own path every day. That future was bright and completely free. She knew that James belonged only to the past life, not the new one. Carla took a deep breath. She made her decision. She chose herself. She chose her business. She chose her freedom. She did not need the approval of the rich man who had ignored her for years. Her voice was steady and clear. It was the voice of a boss. "James," she said, "you did not see me then. You did not see me when I needed someone to see me." She paused for a long moment. She finished her statement with great confidence. "But I see myself now. I know my value, and that is enough." She did not wait for his answer. She turned away from him. She walked towards the warm lights of her shop. She was no longer Carla, the tired maid. She was Carla, the owner, the founder, the boss. She was finally the boss of her own life. She felt completely free and very proud.